It's the return of Premier League football today. Of course, we're back from the cup game in the week. Not the best performance, but we've got the job done. You know what I mean? So can't moan about that. Ahead of an international break. I mean, why on earth do we have an international break so early in the season? It's so frustrating, especially when you've had that break. You know what I mean? From watching West Ham play, you just starting to get a bit of a taste of it again, and bang, international break. And it's against, of course, the champions Man City today. It's going to be a serious test for us. And you know, it's a strange one. I'm not saying I'm brimming with confidence. I'm quite, I've got a feeling that we can give them a game. I do feel that, but it does feel like this is going to be a real test for a side that's still trying to sort of get some sort of gelling going on between them, and it's going to be a challenge for us today. There's no doubt about it. And it's really interesting when you think of Man City, how they started the season, etc., because it's a little bit unlike them. They just seem to have hit the ground running really quickly. That's what I want to talk about first. Let's talk about Man City, as we always do. As I said, they really they seem this year, or this season, should I say, really in the mood to get things going fast. That's unlike them. It's just a little bit unlike City. They tend to start a little bit slow, and it takes a little while to get their rhythm going. And then you tend to find out sort of leading up towards the end of the year, they really then click into gear, and then it becomes sort of relentless. Whereas this season, it just feels like there's a different feeling around Man City at the moment. And Arsenal, of course, are going to be major challenges for the title. My early prediction was I think it was going to be Arsenal's season, and I still, as a part of it, does think that. But there's a feeling around when you watch Man City at the moment that they're just not going to allow that, or they're certainly going to put up a huge fight, aren't they, to retain their title? Still an incredible side. I mean, they've had a decent start and they just look ruthless. So I'm expecting the same today at London Stadium. I think it's going to be a really, really tough game. Transfer business for them has been pretty subdued a little bit, and obviously Gundogan return. I think that's going to be really pivotal actually to their season, Man City. I mean, such an important player he's been in recent seasons for them, and of course he went away, didn't he, to Barcelona for a year, and it just didn't work out for him there. I don't know really what happened. I think I know that he sort of publicly criticised them, didn't he, over their response to a loss to Real Madrid, and I just don't think it worked. I think that sort of fractured the relationship there. Anyway, I mean, it's good to have him back in the Premier League. I actually really rate him. It's just a shame it's going to be against West Ham today. I'm guessing it could be, he did make a small appearance, in a bit of a cameo in their last game, so I've got a feeling he might play a bit more of a prominent role today for them. But yeah, what a wonderful side. Nothing, against Man City at all. Just such a joy to watch. Of course, though, they do have these charges hanging over them. It's going to be, I think it comes to the case begins, doesn't it, in January? I mean, it's hard to talk about it, isn't it, and where it's going to go. I just feel like it's a real shame for football, really, what's going on with this. It feels like a nasty cloud hanging over the game, not just Man City, because you just get the impression that it's catering towards protecting other clubs and stopping spending. That's how it feels like a little bit. And it's whatever happens. It's really hard to talk about, isn't it? Because you just don't know. It's so unknown where this is going to go. It could be that they get relegated. It could be nothing really comes of it. I just don't know. It could be huge fines. Who knows? But it's going to be interesting. I think it's be good for City to get this out of the way, really. Get it resolved one way or the other, even if it means that they're relegated. Do you know what I mean? Because one way, it just needs to get to the bottom of it, because it's sort of been hanging over the game now for quite some time. So that'd be good for everybody, I think. They've got some good young players, Man City, in their squad. I really feel sorry for Oscar Bob. I mean, to have that injury, in a season that you feel like when going into this season, it was going to be quite prominent for him, that he was going to be one that was going to really step up his game this season. To get a nasty injury like he did in pre-season was such a shame to see. So yeah, really disappointing. But they've also got Rico Lewis as well, as coming through now, looking like an amazing player for them. They are just such a wonderful football club in terms of how they are organised and built. You know what I mean? They get a lot of criticism, City, don't they? For they just oil money, all built. They're just buying this and buying that. They buy wisely and they spend well, and they not just in terms of playing staff. I'm talking about the infrastructure of the club. It's just really impressive, and what they've done for the city and everything else. I just think they are really remarkable, actually, how they've done things. A really sort of sensible and concise approach to how they get on with things. I can't help but admire them, really, and how well they've done. And it's going to be a huge test for West Ham, so we know that. I mean, regardless of who plays, it's always going to be a huge test. And they got Savinho as well, the Brazilian. I've been very impressed with him. Obviously, they did make some changes over the summer, and Alvarez, of course, departing for Atletico Madrid, which, to be honest with you, I don't quite get. I really like him, and I thought he was a great player for City, a hugely important player to have in the squad. But they decided to get rid. I mean, it doesn't feel at the moment, though, it's causing them any issues, does it? I know it's very early in the season, but you're watching them play. They just look so ruthless and so organised and drilled and hungry again, which obviously isn't good news for Arsenal, really. But and it could possibly be for West Ham today, but let's wait and see. I mean, let's talk about West Ham. We're a West Ham channel. Let's get on to West Ham now. So, obviously, we got the result against Bournemouth in the week. It wasn't the best of performances. It was actually quite a drab affair, especially in the first half. It picked up a little bit in the second, but it was a tough watch. It wasn't easy. Tadebo's the interesting one. I was really, really looking forward to seeing Tadebo play. I really wanted to see this player that we signed, of course, and I've got a lot of excitement for him. I know he's very highly rated, but he struggled. He really did struggle. He looks a player that's not had a pre-season. He looks a player that's really trying to catch up with his fitness, understand the league, etc. You can just see it in his play. So I don't foresee him starting today at the moment. I think you can see he's a little bit off the pace. Because I've got to admit, when he signed, right, first of all, I was expecting to see him straight away. And I was a little bit frustrated, to be honest. I'm sure you are as well, that when he wasn't coming on, he was coming on too late in the game. And you're thinking, why is he only getting 5 minutes? And then you saw against Bournemouth why that is the case, why he's only getting those 5 minutes, because he's just not fit at the moment. He's not match fit. He's not up to speed with West Ham, etc. So you can kind of understand it. So I just feel there's still a bit of work to be done there. But of course, we've got huge high hopes for him, and hopefully he does well. I did talk about this in the previous video. Fulkrug, I just want to see him settle down now. I got a little bit of concerns that lingered a little bit after that Bournemouth game. Just felt a little bit like a bit of a flashback to what we've had before with Hilaire and Scamacca. I don't know. There was just that feeling of, isolated on his own, struggling to sort of make any better, looking quite frustrated. And I just thought to myself, oh God, we haven't gone down this road again, have we? I really hope that's not the case, because you can clearly see he's got something about him. He was impressive when he came on against Crystal Palace. I thought he looked quite dangerous, quite hungry. His hold-up play was excellent. He was strong. He was causing them all sorts of problems. But the Bournemouth game, I thought he looked like he struggled a little bit, actually. I thought he cut a very frustrated guy, and it was a bit of a shame to see that, and a little bit concerning, I will be honest. But I'm hoping that's just an isolated concern. Do you know what I mean? That it kind of diminishes pretty quickly. I still think he's going to hopefully be a key player for us. Let's just wait and see how this pans out. Of course, it's hard to you can't put pressure on players straight away. They've only just come over here. Of course, a lot of players, people have come from other countries. They're settling down. They get their families settled into the country. You can't put too much pressure on these guys and expect them to hit the ground running and be all firing straight away. So, and that's as a team as well, isn't it? We've got to have some patience. And I think as a team and as individuals as well, that's easy to say. So yeah, it's one to keep an eye on, I think, with Fulkrug. I really do want this to work for him and for us, of course. So, hopefully today he can get a bit more of an opportunity and show what he's all about. But obviously Man City is, the reality is us having a lot of attacks and goals is going to be quite limited, isn't it, today? Let's be honest. I will say, though, in terms of West Ham and the recruitment, I've been impressed with two players particularly at the beginning. I mean, Rodriguez has been decent for us at times. I mean, he's quite slow, but he's excellent on the ball. But my word, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, I mean, what a player this guy is. I mean, he's been exceptional since he started for us. He just looks so dangerous. He just suits us perfectly. He's come in and he just, I'm delighted with him. Absolutely thrilled for how well he's doing. And and I will say the same about Max Kilman as well. I mean, he's putting some man-of-match displays, hasn't he? And he was excellent again against Bournemouth. He just looks a really shrewd signing. Despite, of course, all of the negativity and all the overspending kind of thing that's surrounding Kilman, it's great that I feel like he's putting that to bed because he's looking really good. Right, let's go on to the team. I want to know what you're thinking of the team, and I also want to know what you'd like to see, and then obviously get your predictions in as well. So this is what I'm thinking for West Ham today. I've had to play around with this a little bit. I think we've got to be quite cautious of the fact we're playing Man City here. We've got to be very defensive. So in goal, I'm going for Areola, of course. I mean, our number one goalkeeper, and why not? I mean, I've said previously, I've had a couple of concerns with him, mainly over his crossing at times. I feel like he struggles a little bit in the air, but yeah, there's nothing taken away from his shot abilities. He's a very good goalkeeper in that regard, but just that's something he needs to work on, I think, is commanding that area a bit better. Of course, it's just a bit frustrating to see him. I'm referring as well to Aston Villa goal, Anana header. You just saw things like that. You just think, come and command your box. That's something I think he just needs to work on. But yeah, anyway, he's certainly in goal for me today. I'm going for a back five or back three with two wing backs. So my back three are Tadebo, Mavropanos, and Kilman. As I've said, I know that Todibo needs to get up to speed, but I'm putting him in this game. I think we need 3 defenders there. I think Man City are going to absolutely be on the onslaught today. They're going to, want to keep up their momentum, aren't they? There's no two ways about it. I mean, they go to win every game. We know that. It's no surprise. Of course they are. They're gunning for the title, and they've got the ability to beat any side wherever they're playing. So it's going to be a tough afternoon. So I just get the feeling we need to be far more resilient in our defence and be able to shut up shop a little bit. It's going to be tough. So it's going to be one of them games where we're not going to see too much of the ball. So that's why I'm going for 3 defenders. I say Todibo, Mavropanos, and Kilman. I'm going to go for Aaron Wan-Bissaka, of course, at right wing back, and I'm going to go for Emerson at left wing back. So effectively a back 5 I can drop there. I'm also going to have then Edson Alvarez drop in as a defensive midfielder alongside Thomas Souček. Unbelievable to think that Souček's actually becoming quite a key player under Lopetegui this season. I really wasn't expecting it. When the season started and when we had the summer, all the changes, I thought he's probably one that's going to see his days numbered now at West Ham, but he's becoming quite a key player, isn't he, under Lopetegui? It's quite obvious that he's got a future still at West Ham. So, look, he's been important. I know he can be frustrating at times. I've certainly spoke about it myself, but there's no denying he has been an important player already so far this season. So I'm going to go for Alvarez and Souček as my midfield. I'm putting Lucas Paqueta out on the left, Jared Bowen on the Mohamed Kudus on the right, actually, and I'm going to put Jared Bowen up front to start today. I just think that we need a bit of pace on the counter, and I think I'm going to get that from Bowen and Kudus, and obviously Paqueta with his creativity. I'm going to give him a little bit of freedom to roam as well, come inside. Obviously Souček as well will advance forward when we attack, but I want to keep Alvarez, protecting that defence. As I say, this is going to be a counter-attack game today. It's going to be a sort of, I say Moyes ball, but you know what I mean? It feels a little bit like that's how we're going to have to be set up. I can't see West Ham having much of the possession today and dominating much of this game. I think it's going to be a case of we're going to play counter. So with that, we're going to need a bit of pace. But look, if we can get something out of this game today, it'd be a great result. Let's be honest. We know that. If we can get a point, it'd be brilliant. And I think we've got to kind of not go in that mindset, hoping to get a draw, but I think we've got to be protective of our goal. I don't want to see us leaving too many spaces open because they're just going to exploit it. You've seen it already this season where we've been exploited a little bit. Mavropanos certainly, balls over the top he struggles with. I really want to see us play a far more compact game today and make it difficult for Man City as much as we can. And as I say, hopefully be able to catch them out where we can. So I am going for a defeat. I'm really sorry to say it. I really do try and go with your heart, go with a win. And I really wanted to. I wanted to say, you know what, I think we're going to nick it. We might get a draw. I just don't see it with the way Man City are playing. I just think they're just so ferocious. They're so hungry already this season. You can see it's in them, you know what I mean? And I think we're going to really struggle. And the fact is we're still a side at the moment that's still trying to get to grips with ourselves. We're still trying to settle the players down and get to a system that works. So I just think this game, a game of this size against a team of that much quality, probably come a little bit too soon for this West Ham team, I think. So I'm going to go for West Ham 1, Man City 3. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. And please, I'll be delighted if we can get something out of this game. But look, you never know. It's going to be a tough afternoon, I imagine. But, you never know with West Ham, do you? Come on, you irons.